Prospective property buyers are by this notice placed on red alert concerning developments affecting 15 different locations within the FCT. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has identified that several allottees at 15 locations on their own converted the approved land use of their plots from residential commercial use without obtaining prior official approval, thereby breaching the terms and conditions of their existing right of occupancies. As a result, the affected properties are now subject to penalties of 5 million naira per plot concerned, with the attendant risk of title revocation where compliance is not effected immediately. According to the public notice issued by the FCTA, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has given approval for a reviewed land use for the properties concerned. The affected locations include Gana Street and Usuma Street, both within Maitama district, Yakubu Gowon Crescent in Asokoro district, Aminu Kano Crescent and Adetokunbo Ademola Crescent in Wuse 2 district, Ladoke Akintola Boulevard, Gimbiya Street and Onitsha Street, both in Garki 2 district, and Ogbomosho Street, Lafia Close, Yola Street, Abriba Close, Danbatta Street, Ringim Close, and Ilorin Street, all in Garki 1 district. The affected allottees or title holders are directed to visit the FCTA Department of Land Administration at number 4 Peace Drive, Central Business District, with their original title documents and valid means of identification for collection of fresh letters of conveyance of approval for the change of land use. These letters contain the details of the approved conversion and the applicable charges required to be paid for regularization of those properties. You may not have property in any of those locations, but if you are a prospective land buyer or real estate investor, this notice is still very critical and important to you because in some transactions, vendors do deliberately fail to disclose existing penalties, like in this case, charges and pending compliance issues, so that you as a buyer won't get to know what is underneath the property. It is therefore possible for a buyer to negotiate and pay commercial market value for a property that is legally designated as residential without knowing that a change of user has not been applied for or approved. A buyer may not also know that there is significant penalty outstanding against such a property. Notably, all the streets listed above were originally designated strictly for residential use, and any commercial use without formal approval and payment of the corresponding charges and penalties constitutes an encumbrance upon such a property. That's why you're supposed to know. Prospective buyers are therefore strongly advised to independently confirm that the change of user has been duly approved by the FCTA Land Administration and that all associated penalties and statutory fees have been duly paid with documentary evidence to show. Otherwise, you might be trading on a property that could stand the risk of revocation. Failure to do so may expose the buyer to enforcement actions, financial losses, or revocation notice at the end of your transaction. At encumberedproperties.com, our mission is the safety of your real estate transactions. We are committed to helping the public identify risky real estate defects, title defects, regulatory red flags like this before making any financial commitments. In the interest of public awareness, if you are aware of any disputed, encumbered, or high-risk property anywhere, you are encouraged to bring such to our notice or head over to our website and enlist such a property there. Such enlistment and searches on our website are completely free of charge. That's what we do for the society. Now, to further empower yourself as a buyer or investor, we recommend our practical guide titled 7 Steps Acquiring a Clean Property Title. It is a practical checklist. This important manual outlines the common real estate red flags, the essential documents you must demand, and practical steps for their verifications. At encumberedproperties.com, mortgage and due diligence services are all available. Links to any of those services are provided in the description to this video. To continue to receive our real estate safety updates, subscribe to this channel now and share to help keep others away from real estate investment traps. Till I bring you the next property red alert, I remain Madwe Kenwere. I'm a real estate lawyer, a chief superintendent of police, and by God's grace, the founder of encumberedproperties.com. Encumberedproperties.com remains the only real estate trust prevention platform. We love you and we do care about the safety of your real estate investments. Thank you.